Alexander Winters checks his watch at 2:47 in the morning. Again, the screaming started at midnight. 4 hours now. 4 solid hours of his children's voices tearing through the mansion, through his chest, through whatever fragments of sanity he has left. He sits in his home office on the 3rd floor, door closed, noise-canceling headphones on, but he can still hear them. 4 babies, 4 sets of lungs, 4 different pitches of agony that somehow harmonize into one unbearable symphony. Alexander is 41 years old. He built Winters Capital from nothing, turned $5,000 and a laptop into a hedge fund that manages $18 billion in assets. He's negotiated with sovereign wealth funds, outmaneuvered Wall Street legends, closed deals that made headlines in the Financial Times, but he cannot make his children sleep. 18 months ago, his wife died. Complications during the Quadruplets delivery. The doctors said it was rare, unpredictable, nobody's fault. Elena went into surgery carrying 4 babies. She came out carrying none of them anymore. The babies survived. She didn't. Alexander held her hand as the machines beeped slower and slower. She whispered something he couldn't hear through his own sobbing, squeezed his fingers one last time, and then she was gone. Just gone. The mother of his children, the love of his life, reduced to a flat line and a death certificate he still hasn't looked at. The babies came home 6 weeks later, 4 perfect, healthy children. Sophia, Sebastian, Sienna, Samuel, born premature but strong, beating the odds, determined to live. They just won't sleep, not peacefully, not quietly, not ever. Every night for 18 months, the same pattern. Midnight comes and the screaming starts. One baby wakes up crying, then another, then another, then all 4, like they're connected by some invisible thread of misery. The nannies try everything, feeding, rocking, changing, walking, singing. Nothing works. The babies scream until they exhaust themselves around dawn, sleep for 2 or 3 hours, wake up cranky and overtired, and the cycle begins again. Alexander has spent $300,000 on sleep specialists. Pediatric neurologists examined the babies, found nothing wrong. Behavioral consultants implemented schedules that failed within 48 hours. A sleep training expert from Switzerland stayed for 2 weeks and quit on day 13, saying she'd never encountered anything like this. The babies are healthy. The babies are growing normally. The babies just won't stop screaming at night. Alexander pulls off his headphones and stands. His reflection in the office window looks like a stranger. Hollow eyes, graying hair he doesn't remember turning gray, a face that's aged 10 years in 18 months. The screaming continues downstairs. He can hear Nanny 23's footsteps, frantic, moving between rooms. She'll quit soon. They always do. He walks to the bar cart, pours 2 fingers of scotch he won't drink, just holds the glass and stares at Elena's photo on the shelf. Her smile, so bright, her hand on her pregnant belly, glowing with joy about the 4 lives growing inside her. "I don't know what to do," he whispers to the photo. "I'm sorry. I don't know how to fix this." The scotch sits untouched. Eventually, the screaming fades to whimpering. By 4:15, the house goes quiet, not peaceful, just exhausted. Alexander doesn't go to bed. He pulls up the security feeds on his laptop instead. 12 cameras throughout the house. He watches Nanny 23 stumble to her room, looking destroyed. Watches the babies finally asleep in their cribs, tiny chests rising and falling. They look like angels when they sleep, like they're not the same children who spent 4 hours screaming. Alexander closes the laptop. Another night survived. Another day coming. Another 24 hours of pretending he has any idea what he's doing. The security company installed the cameras after Nanny 11. She seemed perfect. British accent, 30 years of experience, references from 3 royal families. She lasted 6 weeks. Then Alexander came home early one Tuesday and found her passed out drunk in the nursery, babies screaming in their cribs, empty wine bottle on the floor. After that came Nanny 12, who Alexander caught on camera stealing jewelry from Elena's closet. Nanny 13 lasted 3 days before leaving a note that said, "I'm sorry, this is beyond my capabilities." Nanny 14 made it to day 9 before Alexander found her crying in the pantry at 3 in the morning, rocking back and forth, saying she couldn't do it anymore. Nanny 15 through 22 followed similar patterns. Some quit. Some were fired for negligence. One actually called an exorcist, convinced the babies were possessed. 23 caregivers in 18 months. 23 trained professionals who looked at his children and decided they weren't worth the trouble. Now Alexander watches everything. Motion sensors in every hallway. Cameras in the nursery, the kitchen, the living areas. Audio feeds he can access from his phone. He reviews footage every morning, looking for signs of neglect, abuse, theft. Looking for reasons to trust or reasons to fire. He's become that person, the paranoid employer, the man who trusts no one. But trust died with Elena, and every nanny who's walked out or been escorted out has reinforced that the only person who will protect his children is him, even if he's protecting them from a distance, even if he's watching their lives through screens instead of living in them. This morning, he pulls up last night's footage, fast forwards through the horror show. Nanny 23 trying to calm Sophia, who arches her back and screams. Sebastian throwing his pacifier. Sienna and Samuel crying in stereo. The nanny looks competent enough, patient. She doesn't yell, doesn't give up, but she also doesn't succeed. By 4:30, she's sitting on the floor between the cribs, head in her hands, shoulders shaking. She's going to quit. Alexander can see it in her body language. She'll last maybe one more week, then she'll join the others in that drawer full of resignation letters. He closes the laptop and goes to make coffee he doesn't want. Mr. Chen, the house manager, finds him in the kitchen at 7. "Sir, Miss Rodriguez left a message. She won't be returning today. She's requested her final paycheck be mailed." Alexander doesn't even feel surprised anymore, just tired. That makes 23. "Yes, sir." "Contact the agency. Tell them we need someone immediately." Mr. Chen hesitates. "Sir, the agency said after the last 3 placements, they're reluctant to send more candidates. They're concerned about the, quote, extraordinarily challenging circumstances." Translation: no one wants to work for the man whose babies never sleep. Alexander sets down his coffee cup. "Then contact a different agency." "I've tried 4 others. They've all heard about the situation. Word travels in the childcare community. So what do you suggest?" Alexander's voice comes out sharper than intended. "I have 4 children who need care. I have a company to run. I can't do this alone." "I understand, sir." Mr. Chen's voice stays gentle. "I have one more option, a woman who contacted me directly. She's not from an agency. She heard about your situation through her church community and said she felt called to help." Called. The word tastes bitter. Is she qualified? "She has 10 years of experience as a home care aide for elderly patients. No formal child care training. But sir, she's willing to start today. And at this point, we're desperate." Alexander finishes the sentence. "What's her name?" "Maria Santos. She's 43, originally from the Philippines, studying part-time to finish her nursing degree. She can be here by 9 if you'd like to meet her." Alexander looks at the ceiling, at the cameras that will let him watch this stranger with his children, at the empire he's built that can't solve the one problem that actually matters. Send her. If you're enjoying this story so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Drop a comment telling me where in the world you're watching from. I love hearing from you. Maria Santos arrives at exactly 9 o'clock. Alexander watches her through the front door camera before Mr. Chen even opens it. She's small, maybe 5 feet 2 inches, wearing a simple navy blue cardigan over a white shirt and black pants. Her hair is pulled back in a neat bun. She carries one canvas bag and a worn leather Bible. No designer clothes, no expensive luggage, no air of someone trying to impress. When Mr. Chen opens the door, she smiles. Not the bright, practiced smile most nannies wear during interviews. Just a quiet, genuine expression that reaches her eyes. "Good morning. Thank you for seeing me." Her voice is soft, lightly accented. Alexander watches her wipe her feet carefully on the mat before stepping inside. Watches her look around the grand foyer with its marble floors and crystal chandelier, and something in her expression isn't awe. It's sadness, like she's seeing something lonely instead of something expensive. Mr. Chen leads her to Alexander's office. Alexander sits behind his desk, the position of power, the setup that's worked for every business negotiation of his career. Maria sits in the chair across from him, sets her bag down, folds her hands in her lap. "Miss Santos, Maria, please?" "Maria, I'll be direct. My children are difficult. 23 caregivers have quit or been fired in 18 months. They don't sleep. They cry for hours every night. Multiple specialists have found nothing medically wrong. If you're looking for an easy job, this isn't it." Maria nods slowly. "Mr. Winters, can I ask you something before you tell me about the job?" He pauses. "Go ahead. When did your wife pass?" The question lands like a physical blow. Most people dance around it, whisper about it, avoid mentioning Elena at all. Alexander's jaw tightens. 18 months ago, during their delivery. "And you've been doing this alone since then?" It's not a question. Alexander feels something crack in his chest. "I have help, obviously. The nannies, the staff. That's not what I meant." Maria's eyes are gentle but clear. "I meant you've been carrying this grief alone while trying to keep 4 babies alive and running a company and watching everyone leave. That's what I meant." Alexander doesn't know what to say. His throat feels tight. "I'm not here to judge you, Mr. Winters. I'm here to help. But I need you to understand something first. Your babies aren't difficult. They're grieving. They were newborns when she died. They don't remember her." "They don't remember her with their minds," Maria says softly. "But their bodies remember. They grew inside her, heard her heartbeat, felt her breathe, and then she was gone. That's a wound that doesn't have words yet, so it comes out as crying." Alexander stares at her. No specialist, no expert, no highly credentialed professional has ever said anything like this. "Can you help them?" His voice comes out rough. "I don't know yet, but I'd like to try, if you'll let me." Alexander wants to say yes immediately, but trust is expensive and he's been bankrupt of it for months. 3 days, he says. Trial period. I have cameras throughout the house. I'll be watching. If I see anything concerning, anything at all, you're gone immediately. Understood? I understand. No bonding with the children. No promises you can't keep. Follow the schedule the sleep specialist created. No deviations. Maria looks at him for a long moment. Mr. Winters, with respect, if I follow the same methods that haven't worked for 23 other people, you'll get the same results. I need permission to try something different. Different? How? I won't know until I meet them, but I promise you this. I will never hurt your children. I will never steal from you, and I will never leave without telling you why. Alexander studies her face. She's not promising success, not claiming she can fix everything, just offering presence, honesty. 3 days, he repeats. Maria nods. 3 days. That first day, Alexander watches from his office. The cameras show Maria entering the nursery where all four babies are awake, fussy from their terrible night. Sophia is crying. Sebastian is pulling at his ear. Sienna and Samuel are whimpering in that pre-scream way that means the chaos is coming. Maria sets down her bag. She doesn't rush to pick anyone up. She doesn't start implementing a schedule. She just stands there for a moment, looking at each baby, really seeing them. Then she starts humming. Alexander leans closer to his screen, turns up the audio. It's not a children's song, not a lullaby, just a melody, simple and repetitive, rising and falling like breathing. Sophia stops crying, just stops, mid-sob, and turns her head toward the sound. Maria walks to Sophia's crib, still humming. She picks her up gently, holds her against her chest, keeps humming. Sophia's little fist grabs Maria's cardigan. "Hello, sweet girl," Maria whispers. "I'm Maria. I'm here to help you feel safe." She carries Sophia to the rocking chair, sits down, continues humming. After a few minutes, she starts singing words in what Alexander assumes is Tagalog. He doesn't understand the language, but something about it sounds like comfort, like safety, like home. Sebastian's crying softens. Sienna stops whimpering. Samuel watches Maria with wide eyes. This isn't protocol, this isn't the schedule, but Alexander doesn't stop her. That night, he watches the cameras like he's watching a miracle he's afraid to believe in. Midnight comes. Right on schedule, Sophia starts to cry. Then Sebastian, the usual pattern beginning. But Maria doesn't turn on all the lights, doesn't pick up all four babies at once. She moves to Sophia's crib, picks her up, starts humming that same melody from this morning. Sophia's cries soften. Maria sways gently, humming, humming, humming. Then she does something that makes Alexander sit forward in his chair. She starts singing words, English this time, a lullaby he's never heard before, about stars and moonlight and someone watching over you even when you can't see them. The melody shifts, changes, and suddenly Alexander's chest goes cold. He knows this song. He knows it because Elena used to hum it. Late in her pregnancy, when she couldn't sleep, when she'd walk around the house at 3 a.m. with her hands on her belly, she'd hum this exact melody. He'd asked her once what it was, and she'd said it was something her grandmother sang to her, a family song, something about angels keeping watch. Alexander never knew the words. Elena died before she could teach him, but Maria is singing it. All of it. The verses Elena hummed, the words Alexander never learned. On screen, Sophia's eyes are closing. Maria lays her back in the crib, moves to Sebastian, picks him up, keeps singing. Sebastian melts into her. His crying stops. His little body relaxes. One by one, Maria sings to each baby. One by one, they quiet. By 12:45, all four are sleeping. Actually, sleeping, peaceful, deep, real sleep. Maria sits in the rocking chair between their cribs and keeps humming softly like she's building a wall of sound to protect them. Alexander stares at his screen, his hands shaking. The house is quiet. For the first time in 18 months, midnight has passed without screaming, without hours of crying, without that desperate chaos that's become normal. His babies are sleeping, and Maria is humming Elena's song. He opens his laptop, pulls up Elena's old emails, her voice memos, searching for anything about that song. He finds it in a folder marked "For the Babies," a voice memo recorded 3 days before she died. Elena's voice fills his office, tired but happy. "My loves, this is the song my grandmother sang to me. It's called Ang Tinig ng Mga Anghel, the voice of angels. In our family, we sing it to babies who can't sleep, to children who are afraid, to anyone who needs to remember they're not alone. I'm recording it so your daddy can sing it to you when I'm too tired after you're born, so you'll always have it. so you'll always know you're watched over. Alexander plays it 3 times. Elena humming the melody, singing the Tagalog words, then translating, "Angels watch when mothers sleep. Angels guard the ones who weep. In the darkest, longest night, you are held. You are light." He closes his laptop, pulls up the camera feed again. Maria is still there, still humming, his 4 babies sleeping peacefully around her. How does she know this song? It's not famous. It's not something you'd learn in any training. It's a family song, Elena's family song. At 2 in the morning, the babies are still asleep. At 3, still sleeping. At 4, still quiet. By 5:30, when dawn starts breaking, Alexander realizes he's watching the first peaceful night his children have had since they came home from the hospital. And the woman who made it happen is someone who arrived 12 hours ago, someone he knows nothing about, someone who's singing his dead wife's song to babies who never met her. Alexander doesn't sleep. He sits in his office watching the cameras, watching Maria, watching this impossible thing happening in his house. At 6:45, Maria finally stands. She stretches carefully, checks each baby one more time, and quietly leaves the nursery. The babies sleep until 7:30. When they wake up, they don't scream. They just make soft sounds, normal baby sounds, the kind Alexander hasn't heard in so long he'd forgotten they existed. He goes downstairs, finds Maria in the kitchen making tea. "How?" His voice cracks. He starts again. "How did you know that song?" Maria turns, cup in her hands. "What song?" "The lullaby, the one you sang last night. Where did you learn it?" She looks confused. "I don't know what it's called. I learned it from a woman I cared for years ago. Mrs. De Leon. She was Filipino, had dementia. She'd get agitated at night, couldn't sleep. Her daughter taught me that song to help calm her. Is something wrong?" "My wife used to sing it." "To them?" "When she was pregnant." Maria's eyes widen. "I didn't know. I swear I didn't know." "They slept all night for the first time since—" Alexander can't finish. Maria sets down her tea, walks closer. "Mr. Winters, I don't know how God works, but sometimes when people need something most, he sends it in ways we don't expect. Maybe your wife is still watching over them. Maybe she led me here. Maybe that's why I know her song." Alexander's vision blurs. He turns away, doesn't want this stranger to see him break. "Thank you," he whispers. Behind him, Maria's voice is gentle. "It's only been one night. Don't hope too much yet, but I'll be here tonight too. We'll try again." That night, midnight comes. The babies start to fuss, and Maria begins to sing. They sleep. The next night, the same, and the night after that. 3 days pass, 3 peaceful nights, 3 mornings where Alexander's children wake up rested instead of exhausted. On day 4, Alexander finds Maria in the nursery and says, "Stay, please, not for 3 days, just stay." Maria smiles. "I told you I wouldn't leave without telling you why. I'm not leaving, Mr. Winters. Your children need me, and I think maybe you do too." 6 weeks pass, 6 weeks of peaceful nights, 6 weeks of watching Maria transform his children from exhausted, screaming babies into happy, thriving toddlers who smile and babble and reach for her like she's their entire world. Alexander watches it all through the cameras, watches Maria sing to them every night, watches her play with them during the day, making up games with wooden spoons and plastic bowls, watches her read to them in both English and Tagalog, her voice animated, the babies mesmerized, watches Sophia laugh for the first time, watches Sebastian clap his hands, watches Sienna and Samuel learning to pull themselves up, using Maria's legs for support while she encourages them in that gentle voice. He watches his children fall in love with her, and something dark grows in his chest, something he doesn't want to name but can't ignore. One evening he comes home early. The house is filled with music, some Filipino folk song playing from Maria's phone. He walks toward the nursery and stops in the doorway. Maria is on the floor with all 4 babies. She's teaching them to dance, holding their little hands, swaying to the music. Sophia is giggling. Sebastian is bouncing. Sienna and Samuel are watching Maria's face like she hung the moon. "That's it, my loves," Maria says, spinning Sophia gently. "You're dancing like your mama is watching from heaven, so proud of her beautiful babies." Alexander's chest cracks open. That word. "Mama." She said mama. "What did you just say?" His voice comes out cold, sharp. Maria looks up, startled. The music keeps playing. "Mr. Winters, I didn't hear you come in." "What did you call yourself?" "I didn't call myself anything. I said their mama." "You're not their mother." The words come out like weapons. "You work for me, that's all." Maria stands slowly, her face showing hurt. "I know that. I was talking about your wife, about Mrs. Winters watching from—" "Don't." Alexander's hands are shaking. "Don't talk about my wife. You didn't know her. You don't get to invoke her while you're playing house with my children." "I'm not playing anything. I'm caring for them." "No." Alexander's voice rises. "You're making them dependent on you, making them love you, and then what happens when you leave? When you get tired like all the others? When you decide this is too hard or you find a better job?" "I'm not leaving." "That's what they all say." Alexander feels something breaking inside him, something ugly and scared. "I see how they look at you, how they reach for you first, how they stop crying when you walk in the room. You've been here 6 weeks and you're more their mother than—" He stops, can't finish that sentence because it reveals too much. Maria's eyes fill with tears. "Then what? Then you are their father? Is that what you were going to say?" The silence is devastating. "I want you to pack your things," Alexander says quietly. "Tonight. I'll pay you through the end of the month, but I need you gone." "Mr. Winters, please." "This is my house, my children, my decision. You're dismissed." Maria looks at the babies on the floor, all 4 of them watching this scene they don't understand. Sophia starts to whimper, sensing the tension. "You're making a mistake," Maria says, her voice breaking. "Not for me, for them." "Get out." Maria picks up her bag with shaking hands. She kneels down, kisses each baby on the forehead. "I love you," she whispers. "I'm so sorry." Then she leaves. The babies start crying immediately. All 4, like they know something precious, just walked out the door. That night, midnight comes. The screaming starts exactly like it used to. Sophia first, then Sebastian, then the twins. 4 voices crying, screaming, inconsolable. Alexander tries everything, picks them up one by one, tries to hum Maria's song, but can't remember the melody right. Plays Elena's voice memo, but it makes them cry harder. By 3 in the morning, he's sitting on the nursery floor, surrounded by 4 screaming babies, and he understands what he's done. He didn't fire Maria because she crossed a line. He fired her because watching his children love her made him face how absent he'd been, how he'd chosen surveillance over presence, how he'd let fear build walls between him and the 4 people who needed him most. He'd destroyed the only good thing that had happened to his family since Elena died. The crying continues until dawn. The babies finally collapse into exhausted sleep around 6. Alexander doesn't sleep at all. He sits there covered in their tears and his own, staring at the empty rocking chair where Maria used to sit. Mr. Chen finds him there at 7, takes one look at his face and says, "You need to fix this, sir." "I don't know if I can." "Then you learn how. Those babies need her, and whether you admit it or not, you need her too." That morning, Alexander drives to Maria's apartment, a small place in a neighborhood he'd never normally visit. 3rd floor walk-up, paint peeling on the stairs. He knocks. Maria opens the door, eyes red from crying. "Please," Alexander says. His voice breaks immediately. "Please come back." Maria shakes her head. "I can't keep doing this, loving them and being pushed away. It's not fair to me, and it's not fair to them." "You're right. You're absolutely right. I was wrong." "Why did you fire me?" Her voice is steady but hurt. "Tell me the real reason." Alexander's throat tightens. "Because watching you be what they need made me see how much I've failed. Because you've been here 6 weeks and you know them better than I do. Because they love you and I—" He stops, forces himself to continue. "I was jealous of how easily you love them when I don't know how anymore." Maria's expression softens. "Mr. Winters, Alexander, please, just Alexander." She steps aside. "Come in." Her apartment is tiny but warm. Photos on the walls. A small cross above the door. Books stacked everywhere. She makes tea, and they sit at her small kitchen table. "I'm not trying to replace your wife," Maria says quietly. "I'm not trying to be their mother, but they need someone to love them fully, presently without fear. And you're so afraid of losing them that you're losing them anyway." "I know, God, I know." Alexander puts his head in his hands. "I don't know how to fix it." "You start by showing up. Really showing up. Not through cameras, not from your office. You sit on that floor and you stay there even when it's hard." "What if I'm not enough?" "You're their father. That's already enough. You just have to believe it." Alexander looks up. "Will you come back? Not to do it for me, but to teach me how. I'll restructure everything, cut my hours, be home more. But I need help. They need you." Maria is quiet for a long time. "If I come back, things have to change. You can't keep watching your life through screens. You have to live it." "I will, I promise." "And you have to let them love me without being threatened by it. They're babies. They have room in their hearts for both of us." "Okay. And you turn off those cameras in the nursery. You trust me or you don't. You decide." That one's harder, but Alexander nods. "Okay." Maria finishes her tea. "Let's go. Your babies need us." When they walk through the door, all 4 babies are with Mr. Chen, crying, miserable, exhausted. The moment they see Maria, everything changes. 4 babies screaming her name in their babbling way. 4 sets of arms reaching, 4 faces transformed by joy. Maria kneels and catches them all, these 4 babies crawling and stumbling toward her like she's air itself. "I'm here," she whispers, tears streaming. "I'm here, my loves. I'm not leaving again." Over their heads, she looks at Alexander. "Your turn." Alexander's heart pounds. He sits down on the floor next to her. The babies eye him warily. He's the one who made Maria go away. They know it somehow. "Hi," he says softly to Sophia. "I'm sorry, Daddy's sorry. I'm going to do better, I promise." Sophia doesn't move toward him, but she doesn't move away either. That night, Alexander stays home, turns off his laptop, puts his phone in a drawer. When midnight comes, he goes to the nursery with Maria. She shows him how to hold them, how to sway gently, how to hum the melody of Elena's song. He's terrible at first, off-key and uncertain, but Maria guides him, her voice joining his, making it beautiful. The babies quiet, not immediately, not easily, but they do. By 2 in the morning, all 4 are sleeping. Alexander and Maria sit in the rocking chairs, exhausted. "Thank you," Alexander whispers. "Thank you for letting me back in." Over the next 3 months, everything changes. Alexander works from home 4 days a week. He does breakfast every morning, learning that Sebastian hates bananas and Sienna loves them. He does bath time, getting soaked and laughing for the first time in years. He reads bedtime stories with Maria, their voices alternating pages. He learns his children, learns that Sophia is cautious, studying everything before she tries it. that Sebastian is fearless, climbing everything he can reach, that Sienna is gentle, always checking if her siblings are okay, that Samuel is the comedian, making faces that crack everyone up. He watches Maria with them and doesn't feel jealous anymore, feels grateful. She's teaching him how to be present, how to love without fear, how to build a life from broken pieces. One night, 6 months after Maria returned, all 4 babies are asleep. Alexander and Maria are cleaning up toys. "They're happy," Maria says softly, "because of you, because of us." She looks at him. "You're a good father, Alexander. You just needed to believe it." Alexander pauses. "Maria, I need to ask you something." "Okay, stay, not as an employee, as family. I'll pay for your nursing school, help you finish your degree. You can keep your apartment or move into the guest house, whatever you want. But please, officially, permanently, be part of this family." Maria's eyes fill with tears. "You don't have to do that. I know, but I want to. They love you. He stops, starts again. "You brought us back to life, all of us. That makes you family." Maria wipes her eyes. "Okay, yes, I'll stay." 1 year later, the nursery is different now. Painted, bright colors, toys everywhere, photos on the walls of the babies laughing, playing, living, and one special photo, Elena holding her pregnant belly, smiling at the camera. Alexander had it framed and hung where the babies can see it. "That's Mama," he tells them every night. "She loved you so much. She sent Maria to help us find our way." Tonight, all 4 babies are in their beds. Alexander and Maria sit in the rocking chairs, humming Elena's song together. Their voices blend, one melody, 2 harmonies, creating something beautiful. Sophia's eyes are closing. Sebastian yawns. Sienna and Samuel drift off, holding hands through the crib slats. "Angels watch when mothers sleep," Maria sings softly. "Angels guard the ones who weep." "In the darkest, longest night," Alexander continues, his voice steady now, sure. "You are held, you are light." The babies sleep peacefully. The house breathes easy. And 2 broken people who found each other in grief have built something neither expected. Not a replacement for what was lost, but something new, something healing. A family choosing each other, one lullaby at a time. Outside, the night is quiet. Inside, 4 babies dream peacefully, watched over by a father who learned to be present and a woman who taught him that love isn't about perfection. It's about showing up every single night.